Okay, we are with Mr. Carter Nies, and we're at the Dealer Synergy Analyst Center. And basically, Carter, I know that you're working with Orlando over here, going over automotive sales and sales management and assisting him assist our dealers. But tell us a little about you, Mr. Carter Nies. How long have you been in the industry, and what have you done, etc.?
Well, I've been in the auto industry since 1996, so I've got 17 years of frontline dealership experience. I myself have worked in positions such as sales consultant, sales manager, finance manager, and held title as general sales manager.
Okay, now just to get into this, you worked at Dealer Synergy about 4 years ago for a couple of years, and you took a major position back in the dealership world as a general sales manager, and you did extremely well, and finally Sean Bradley convinced you and hooked you back into the Dealer Synergy. So now that you're back, one of the things I was excited about is that you have fresh eyes on the ground as a GSM. Tell me, what are the customers like? What are the customers like now in 2012 and a half versus back from 96?
Well, the whole culture has changed. Regarding who's online, who's not online, everyone is online. All age groups are now utilizing the internet. It used to be it was just the younger crowd was into the internet, and some of your baby boomers. Now, as of last week when I was on the floor, senior citizens were coming in with true car pricing. We're coming in with all of the rebate information all printed out.
Okay, now Carter, like truth be told, you're not like a technology expert, are you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay, so your forte is showroom sales, management, general sales management. You basically make gross. You build sales teams.
That's what I do. My job is to assure that the salespeople are doing their jobs and that we are maximizing gross. Not only just by making profit, but putting people in the right vehicle and serving their needs.
You just came from a high-volume domestic franchise in New Jersey, correct?
Correct.
Okay, now let's just talk about that. What's the job pool like? What like as far as sales consultants out there, are there a lot of people applying for the jobs?
Yes.
And what caliber would you
Yes.
say consultants are nowadays?
It's very interesting who's coming in the door for employment. You've got people with no experience whatsoever looking for work that were stockbrokers, real estate people, right down to veteran car salespeople where their dealerships just aren't spending the money for advertising, or they're having personal fallouts, whatever the case. But the market is super saturated with salespeople right now, or people that want to be salespeople.
Now, question, and this is important because there's some people that follow Dealer Synergy and read our articles in Auto Success Magazine and all the other syndications that are out there that are thinking about getting into this industry, or they just got into this industry. Do you love this industry? You like it, or you tolerate it? Tell us what your feeling is towards this industry.
Well, gasoline runs through my veins, and I could never stop doing it. I mean, there's only two jobs that I would do: sell cars and work for Dealer Synergy, serving dealers.
I got to tell you, I love the car business for simply one reason. What you put into it is what you get out of it. There's no other industry I know of that you could turn around and be like me, Sean Bradley, and college dropout, broke, and then become a multimillionaire. It's insane.
It is.
And what you put into is what you get out of it. And I see all these young, fresh sales consultants that just hit the floor, and they don't really understand how much money they truly can make. Now, at the last dealerships that you managed at, no names, but like, what were like the high salespeople making?
Well, I'll start by saying in the last dealership that I worked as a salesperson, I saw salespeople making $250,000 a year.
What year was this?
This was 2012.
Okay.
Me myself, I was tracking $15,000 to $17,000 a month in the prime months. Only reason why I couldn't keep it consistent was for the fact I didn't have a following.
Right.
So in the big months, $15,000 to $17,000 on new vehicles and used vehicles was not a problem.
Okay, now we're going to give you a whole section on automotiveinternetsales.com, which is going to be showroom sales. And I definitely think that's going to be really important. You're going to be tasked to basically build a showroom team of experts, but all across the country and overseas. We're going to start with subjects from, obviously, the road to the sale, prospecting, qualifying, objections, rebuttals. I mean, for 17 years and all the hundreds of thousands of dollars you've made yourself and the millions of dollars you've made dealers over the last almost 2 decades, there's a lot of knowledge in there. I want to pick that brain, and I want us to share that with the community. Are you up for it?
Absolutely.
Okay. So now let's go to this. I guess when you look at what's the most important things that a new fledgling salesperson is going to do, what would that be? Give us the first tip.
Well, seek to serve for starters.
What does that mean? That sounds like a catchy little
Seek-
slogan that's on a bumper
seek-
sticker. What does that mean?
Seek to serve means several things. The customer is a guest. Don't look at it as an up or as just a customer. It's a guest. Having a customer in front of you is a privilege. Your dealer has spent a lot of money to get him in front of you.
Do you know how much money?
Between $300 and $400.
That's my man. Okay, actually, as per NADA, what NADA says that the average, cost per sale in advertisement is roughly $600 a car. Now, NCM says about $400. But yeah, you're right, $400, $500, $600 just to sell one particular automobile, and hopefully, achieve a $2,000 to $2,800 average gross profit. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less. So I would concur, Carter, these are not just ups. We shouldn't be high-fiving and saying we crush somebody, we pound them into the dirt. Let's talk about the lingo. So they know that you're real deal. I mean, I'm from Jersey like you are, and one of the best ones that we have is crack them like a baby seal. Right or wrong?
Yeah, or I went to Cleveland.
I went to Cleveland. Explain that. Show them the hand signal.
Well, I went to Cleveland.
Okay.
Or you can say, when are you going to Cleveland? Today? Tomorrow? I mean.
And what does that mean? Translate this for the fledglings.
I mean, over the years, one of your fellow salespeople would make a mega deal, and you'd walk by as they were standing next to their customer in the finance office, not the box, which is other lingo, and you say, "Hey, I hear you're going to Cleveland." And,
Right.
The finance guy, yourself, and the other salesperson who just made that deal would get a little chuckle out of it, and the people are like, "Oh, what do you know in Cleveland?"
Right.
So, it's just.
And the reason why, correct me if I'm wrong, is that what you just said, seek to serve, is that's got to be an all-time thing. It can't be, partial. You're either a professional or you're not, right or wrong. So
100%.
if you're a professional, it's 24/7. It's not just when people are watching you or when your customers or your prospects can potentially hear you, making fun of them or, making, unfavorable comments. So I think that's really important. I think that's one of the best things that you could articulate to frontline sales professionals and fledgling sales professionals is that every opportunity is a gift. Okay, these people that are coming into your showroom and you're able to create a living for yourself, for your family, you're able to have an incredible living. You mentioned $250,000 selling cars. I've personally interviewed people that are making $250,000 as well, and we all know a lot of people making six figures, like 100, 125 selling, thousand selling cars. So if you're making that type of money, I don't really think that most professionals like doctors or lawyers are really degrading, dehumanizing their clients. Would you?
Without a doubt, they're not.
Okay, so it doesn't make sense for our industry to do that either, right? Mm-hmm. Perception is reality. If you have the perception that every opportunity is a gift, that they are a yes, then you need to do everything to personify that thought, personify that vision. Would you agree with that?
Without a doubt.
Okay, and so let's start with that. I think that is extremely powerful, and that also goes for subprime. We're not just talking about the people that got good credit you're supposed to be nice to. What is your feeling about, and I don't want to go into all the negative stuff, but I personally don't appreciate when salespeople, or managers especially, I detest that, start calling them roaches, bogues, mooches, cockroaches, people that can't get finance. When we're in an economy when there is extreme stress and job loss and real estate downfall, we're not talking about people that just have bad habits or don't pay their bills or don't pay attention. We're talking about doctors, lawyers, teachers, law enforcement, the regular human beings that have got caught up in the whole psychotic situation of the economic crisis. Right or wrong?
Oh, correct.
Okay, so good. So now with that, now that we've started with the first thing with Carter is seek to serve. How do you demonstrate that? What should you do? What should a salesperson do to get ready for taking their first shot?
Well, the most important thing is, for starters, when you approach the up, is to smile, look the customer in the eye, reach out, warm handshake. All right, identify who the vehicle is for. Identify what the customer is looking to do that day. Maybe the customer doesn't want to drive around the lot and look at cars. Maybe the customer already knows which car they want. So it's important to ask the correct qualifying questions.
Can you demonstrate really quick? What's a proper degree? Let's say you just, and we're saying up just to keep you on the jargon, but we're talking about obviously a new guest. So if a guest arrives in your showroom and you were next, to engage that prospect, let's say it's me, I walk in the showroom, how would you engage me?
Well, the first thing I would do is I would walk up to you and extend my hand. Hi, Mr. Brad. Hi, my name is Carter. Welcome to ABC Motors. And your name is?
Sean.
Sean, thank you for visiting us today. How may I help you?
Well, I was just looking for, I was looking about, this Camaro over here, looked kind of cool, and just trying to get a little information on it.
Great, fantastic. Where did you hear about our dealership at?
Okay, stop. Okay, so basically, you're asking professional questions. You're qualifying the prospect.
Correct.
Okay. Now, from my experience, when you're asking questions, you're also in control of the sales process. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. Now, let's say here's the one. I want to end this because we're hitting the 11-minute mark on the video, and this is just a great first starter. Is that what happens if you go to greet a guest in the showroom and they say, "I'm just looking."
Best thing to do at that point in time is say, "Great. What would you like to look at?"
Okay. Or I like also, not a problem, what information, would you like me to provide for you? Or what vehicle would you like me to get that information on? Something like that, right?
Of course.
And the reason why, Carter, I'm going to start, I want you to elaborate, is that is usually like a standoff question. It's like a defense question. Why would we say that? Why is that a defense question?
Well, because obviously the customer is putting up an objection immediately, and they're afraid of you. I mean, it's not like they're going to hit you or hurt you. They're afraid of you. So they're afraid of spending money. So the most important thing is to try to put them at ease. Back off of the customer. If the customer doesn't want to be bothered, that's fine. Allow the customer to look around and let the customer lead himself to what he wants to look at. Now, I would say after 4 minutes of allowing the customer to look again, you could take another shot at approaching the customer. Is there something, do you have any questions that I may answer? And if at that point in time the customer is receptive to having a discussion with you, that's great. Move forward. If the customer continues to be nasty, at that point in time, you want to approach your floor manager or desk manager, whoever at the time is in control of the floor, and allow them to approach the customer.
Okay, perfect. So, Card, thank you so much for, the first little insight and giving everybody a little bit of, what you think, and allowing me to throw my little 2 cents in there.